Hello everybody, welcome to the first session in the Derwent 1 room. Our next presenter, Ivan Teoh, is a web developer with PredaWeb and an open source CMS cloud provider for governments. Today he'll be putting Python web templating engines into battle against each other to help you find out which is the best. Please welcome Ivan.
Okay. Thank you, Mark, for introducing me, and thank you everyone here to gather here and interested on my topic, which is Python web templating battle. And this talk will be an introduce to web templating in general. So this is the content. I'll start with introductions, and we will be discussing about 5 web templates, and then each of them will be talk about features, template syntax. If we got time, we'll talk about template loader as well, and we end up with a summary, and of course, and Q&A and some discussions. And so let's start with a big ice-breaking and to relax my nerve and talk about my company. So my company is PredaWeb. We specialize in the provisions and support of high availability, dedicated and SaaS CMS solution for government. So we do lots of clone stuff, and I do lots of do some web templating using one of the technology I'll be discussing later. And just some disclaimer that the options I express in this talk are my own personal opinions and do not represent my employer view in any way. So it's not conflict with my company. Okay, let's start with what is web template. A web template is a tool used to separate contents for presentations in web design, and it is a basic component for a web templating system. A web template system describes the software and methodologies used to produce web page. Such system process web templates using a template engine. So this is quoted from Wikipedia. So these are the 5 web templating engines I'm going to talk about. I'm going to start with a text-based web language with the Django template language. And then second, we talk about Chameleon, Django, Teoh, and SLT, and Macro. So does anyone here in the floor know all these 5? No? Some? 4? And 3, 2, 1. Yes, good. At least 1. Okay, great. So let's start with one of the famous one, which is Django templating language. So it's a text-based template language. So it defines variable and basic logic, and use is mainly in Django web framework. And they have a custom tag and filter and built in the Python code. So how's the Django template syntax look like? So basically they have a block. They have a block, and they have an if-else, a for loop, it's a variable, there's a filter. So we're going to discuss some of them. Okay. So let's start with variable. So this is how Django to display the variable. So with two curly bracket. So in general, like text templates have two blocks. One is the variable block, which is like two curly brace here, and another one is a curly brace with a percentage with a block tag. That would be usually used for like a group of template or for loop or extend some of the HTML. And what else? And also for the variable, sometimes we want to filter out like things that we want to, like instead of uppercase or lowercase, we use a symbol like this to actually do some filtering. And good about Django is if you can't find any Django or the standard filtering that provided by Django, then you can write your own using Python code. This is also one of the samples that allow you to have arguments to pass into the custom code. So this is one of the samples that when you want to write a custom filter in Django, for example, you want to write a lower functions, and this has to be written in Django, Python file, and then this is what you do when you want to put it into a template. So how we going to, let's say we already have the template file, or so how are we going to locate? So there are two ways. One is this is the simple way, which is like this is assume that this is a template, which is just a string and with a variable tag, and then this is a context. We want to assign this my name variable to Adrian, and then use render functions to render the templates with appropriate variable, and then you got my name is Adrian. And the second one is using render to respond class, render to respond functions to actually, this is your template file, and this is your variable, and then use this to actually pass to a request as well. So you have a request variable inside your template. Okay, this is the familiar one. Next, we go to something about Chameleon. So does anyone know about Chameleon? Okay, good. There are 3 persons here. So this is different from what Django template language is, because it's based on XML template engine. So it's like kind of like contrast. So what is good is they actually compiles into a Python bytecode. So it's XML file, and then they actually basically compile it to a Python bytecode so that the speed will improve and performance will improve. So they actually is used, or actually like, I mean, reference from original was like Zope inventions. So Chameleon and Zope page templates is very similar, and both have a similarity, but I'm going to discuss a bit of non-similarity. And for example, Chameleon is using Python as a default express language, and Zope is used Path. So since it's using Python, it's very easy. Everybody know Python. And it's kind of very general template language because it's used in different type of project, like pyramid, Zope, clone, and growth. And of course, it also can be used as standalone as well. So these are the syntax. It's pretty much like an XML file, but they have some similarity. Like they can have like a repeat, which is like a loop, for loop, which is loop a range of 10. So you see this range of 10 is actually a Python code. And length items is also a Python code. And this is how we do a commands in a Chameleon template syntax. And so this repeat item.event or item.auth is like a variable that available in Chameleon. So the kind of features that allow us to quickly access the event items and auth items in Chameleon. And this is new, okay? This is Chameleon 2.0 allow us to have an embedded Python, which is, I'm not so happy with it, but it's, in case you need to use some Python code inside your template, you can have like something like this, just have this question mark Python as an indicator, and then this is your Python code, in case you want to debug this template. And also the switch case tag is new as well for Chameleon 2.0. So just in case you want to have some kind of C type of syntax here. Okay. So basically, how does Chameleon attribute language look like? So basically, they have a namespace, prefix, a command, and equals arguments. So you can see that it's actually using Teoh. So Teoh is a template attribute language, so which is a namespace prefix, and this is the command. Let's say repeat is a command, and this is the arguments that you're going to pass into. So most of the XML syntax is appear like this. Okay, so for most of the XML templates, they have this syntax. Good for the Chameleon, they actually define for you by default, so you don't have to define all this, make it simple. And I already talked about this switch and case as well. Let's skip. And this is how I actually repeat, which I talked about just now. And this is expression type, this is a Python code. And this is how we embedded Python, which I don't really like it. And this is how it commands. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this. Can we skip this? And with next one is actually Jinja 2. So this is very similar to Django. So they have a text-based template language. And also, different is they actually compile down to a Python bytecode. Even though it's a text-based, but it actually compile down to a Python bytecode and inspired by Django and Python. So it's a general template language you can use in some of the web framework. So let's see, as you see, it's pretty similar to Django web framework or Django template language, except the tag is a bit different, using curly percentage. And most of them are pretty much the same. They have a for loop. This is how they declare a variable, and this is a filter, and this is the command. And yep, I talked about this is a variable, this is the filter, this is the command, this is the for loop. And okay, we skip this. This is more advanced. Skip this. Okay, this is an interesting one. It's not really it's considered XML based or XML template language, but what the job is a XML rules file, DISO XML rule files which combine a mockup theme.html, which is like a theme file from a web designer, and with a web content, which can be from pyramid web content or plot web content. We merge these two and become a new theme file. So we get the source of a design from a web designer, and Python developers do their coding backend using Plone, CMS, or Pyramid. And we use these DISO rules and become a new theme file. So it's kind of very isolated between the web designers and the Python developers. So backend and front end is isolated, and we merge together using a DISO rules file. So let's see what's DISO rules file. So okay, this is for example, this is a template, a template or design, a theme file from a designer. So there's a simple h1 div and this, and this is a DISO rules file. So it's pretty similar to this Chameleon. So they have a XML declarations about CSS and XLX. So what they actually did behind the scene is this XML file is going to translate to XSLX. So does anyone know about SLX? Okay, a few of them. So basically what behind the scene is actually transform this. It's a simplified form of XLX. So what we actually do is there are a few derivatives in DISO rules. So I'll talk about when it's going on. These are the derivatives that have in DISO rules. So they have theme, no theme, replace, before, after, drop, straight, and merge, and copy. So you have all this, and let's say, okay, let's discuss one by one. So basically what they do is, so we have the theme file. So indicator, this is the theme file, and then we actually drop the theme file. Let's say I want to drop the title. I don't want the title to be displayed on the final site. So I want to drop the title from the theme. So this indicator is a theme, and this is a XSLX XPath syntax, and this is a CSS syntax. We just so this statements means drop the theme from the title if the contents have this ID, context ID with a class Y. So basically I want to drop the title if the content got this class. And this is basically to replace a theme content, which is marked as ID equals to content, with the context from the prompts or pyramids with a class content. So basically we kind of get this block of the HTML code from the web contents and put into a theme. So basically what they do is you take something from the web content and drop or replace, or put it after, put it before, merge and copy and those kind of stuff. So if you notice, there's no looping and stuff. So what we're going to do for the looping stuff, so we kind of mix XLX with DISO. So you see we actually replace this the theme with indicator ID equals title, and then we have for each loop in SLX, and we select this LI tag and copy the ankle tag and copy the image tag, and this become a loop. Oh, this I'll skip. This is so basically how you're going to compile. You basically use DISO rules to compile from XS. These rules and the output. Use these rules and output to become an XLS, and then you can put it and deploy to a WSGI, any WSGI servers or NGX. This is to run, this is load. Okay, the last one is actually macro. It's kind of like pretty similar. It's a text-based, and also compile, and they also have macro and basic. Yes, everybody have this. And good thing is also they can straight embedded Python code into a module level. So the syntax is similar to Django as well. You have this syntax, and they have the for loop as well. And this is how we define a module, and then this is how you call it. And you see, this one is actually a Python code, so you can actually have a Python code inside your template language as well. So this is how you call it. This is a template loader, which how you call the macro template from the code. And good. That's it. So I'll summarize. Okay. So summary. So first, I would like to apologize for that title is a bit misleading, because there's no battle in this round. Like, there's no winner in this. Like, I guess everyone is a winner. So I believe every single web templates have their own place in this market. They have their own unique features that stand out from the rest, and some influence from other templates, and each one learn from each other. And after all is open source. So do you think that they should combine into one standard Python code or Python web template? They have lots of similarity between each of them, because like some of the web framework actually support more than one web templating, or they still stay the same for now. Like, there are lots of web templates for you to choose from and see which one is best suit you, or which one is best suit for your needs. So, time's up. So any questions from the floor? Or do you guys want to share your best experience on when using web template?
Hi,
Yeah.
Thanks for the presentation. Can you talk a bit about why you've selected a specific...
Oh, there's 5? Why not? Yes.
Specific situation?
Oh, okay, so let's... So there are 5, okay. So there are a lot of web templating in the market. So first of all, okay, Django is kind of like, I used before, so it's pretty kind of like lots of web templates reference or inspired by them, especially a text-based. So I use it as one of the text-based template language. And Chameleon is kind of like one of the, it's got really long history, and they also based off Zope. So Chameleon, Zope are pretty similar. So they actually XML based, and I use a lot in Zope as well. And this to Ginger and Macro. So first of all, I pick the one that actually really updated the code. So these are the most updated web templates in the market at the moment. So they are like frequent updates from the developer. And Daiso and XML, I really think it's pretty new. It's only available in Plone 4.2, but I think it's pretty different from the rest. So because they actually isolate the designers and developer like myself, and then to merge together. So these are one of the standout among the rest. And macro, I picked this is because like they kind of like, because Pythons, as we know, they designed to be treat all the developer as adult. So you guys know what to do when you guys write the web templates. So they really make web templating really powerful by embedded the Python code inside template. So of course you have to be very careful when you do this. So it can be like, I mean, some people, like for myself, I prefer to be isolate the like really complex logic from the templating language. So, but everybody's adult, so you know what to do, and it gives you a flexibility to use it. So, do you answer your questions?
Which did you say were the most updated?
Oh no, in fact, this is the 5 of the most updated.
Those are 5.
Yes, these are the 5 that most update compared to the rest.
We've got time for probably one more.
Yes.
I might possibly be.
I might possibly be missing something here, but I thought you said that you quite liked the Diazo approach. When I was looking at it in my admittedly sort of superficial glance at it, it seemed insanely overcomplicated for what it did. Do you feel that perhaps it goes a little bit too far one way in separating the structure from a designing perspective as opposed to sort of the programmatic stuff? Because it seemed like the programmatic side of it was just painful.
Oh, okay. I believe it's kind of very early stage, but their developers kind of make it user friendly, not especially for CMS platform side, which allowed the customer to actually do the web design, and we are just supplying the code behind the CMS. So there is a Diazo UI editor available, so allowed the customers or the web designer to drag and drop the design, so they can design to whatever theme that they want. So what we do, we just supply the prone theme or pyramid, and the clients just have to use the editor to actually drag and drop, and just using this Diazo.
Do you find the coding side of it is reasonable to use, I guess?
Honestly, Diazo, they don't have much, you see the decorative, they don't have the loop and stuff, so I still have to use the XSLS to actually make it more complex. So this could be a downside, but I think in the future, when it getting more matured, I think it's a good for us.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ivan, and in appreciation, here's some African swallow and a mug. Can we have a hand for Ivan?
Thank you.
And